One decision destroyed a cricket career that took 20 years to build. The story of Narsingh Deonarine is one of cricket's most heartbreaking tales. A talented young man from Guyana who worked his way up from village cricket to playing for the West Indies, only to have everything taken away by forces beyond his control. What happened to this promising cricketer will make you question everything about modern cricket and the price of standing up for what you believe in. Narsingh Deonarine was born in 1983 in a small village in Guyana called Unity on the East Coast. His family was poor, but cricket was everywhere in his community. Like most Caribbean boys, he learned to play with makeshift equipment on rough grounds, using coconut branches as bats and tennis balls wrapped in tape. From the very beginning, Deonarine showed something special with both bat and ball. Growing up in Guyana in the 1990s was tough for any young cricketer. The country's cricket infrastructure was limited and opportunities were rare. Most talented players never got the chance to showcase their skills beyond local competitions. But Deonarine was determined to be different. He practiced every day, sometimes for 8 hours straight, dreaming of one day wearing the maroon cap of the West Indies. His natural talent was obvious to anyone who watched him play. Deonarine was a left-handed batsman with elegant stroke play and a handy right-arm off-spin bowler. He could bat anywhere in the order and bowl useful overs when needed. This versatility would later become both his greatest strength and his biggest challenge in international cricket. By his late teens, Deonarine had caught the attention of Guyanese cricket selectors. He made his first-class debut for Guyana in 2002 at the age of 19, and immediately showed he belonged at that level. His batting was stylish and composed, showing maturity beyond his years. His off-spin bowling was accurate and economical, perfect for containing runs in limited overs cricket. The early 2000s were a difficult time for West Indies cricket. The team was struggling to compete with the world's best, and there was constant searching for new talent to rebuild the squad. Young players like Deonarine represented hope for the future. Scouts and selectors were watching him closely as he continued to perform consistently for Guyana in regional competitions. Deonarine's breakthrough came in 2004 when he was selected for the West Indies A team. This was the stepping stone that every Caribbean cricketer dreamed of reaching. The A team was where future international stars were developed and tested against quality opposition. His performances were impressive enough to keep him in the selectors' minds for bigger opportunities. His first taste of international cricket came in 2006 when he was selected for a one-day international series against India. Walking out to bat for the West Indies was the moment Deonarine had dreamed about since childhood. All those hours of practice in his village, all the sacrifices his family made, everything had led to this moment. He was living the Caribbean cricket dream. The early part of Deonarine's international career showed great promise. He was a reliable middle-order batsman who could anchor an innings or accelerate when needed. His bowling provided useful variety to the West Indies attack, and his fielding was always sharp. Cricket experts saw him as a potential long-term solution to the West Indies' batting problems. Between 2006 and 2009, Deonarine established himself as a regular member of the West Indies team across all formats. He played 38 one-day internationals and 5 test matches, scoring over 1,000 runs and taking 23 wickets. His statistics weren't spectacular, but he was exactly the kind of steady, dependable cricketer that every team needs. He was building a solid international career brick by brick. The 2007 Cricket World Cup, held in the Caribbean, was supposed to be Deonarine's breakthrough tournament. Playing a World Cup in his home region, in front of crowds who understood his journey from village cricket to the world stage, should have been the highlight of his career. He contributed with both bat and ball as the West Indies reached the Super 8 stage, but cricket was changing rapidly during Deonarine's early international years. The introduction of 2020 cricket and the Indian Premier League created new opportunities and new pressures. Players had to adapt to different formats, different playing styles, and most importantly, different political and commercial realities in the cricket world. The West Indies Cricket Board was facing serious financial problems during this period. Player payments were often delayed, and there were constant disputes between the board and the Players' Association. Young players like Deonarine found themselves caught in the middle of battles they didn't fully understand, but which would eventually destroy their careers. Deonarine's performances remained consistent through 2008 and 2009, but he was beginning to realize that talent alone wasn't enough to guarantee a long international career. Politics, personalities, and commercial interests were playing bigger roles in team selection. The pure meritocracy that he believed in as a young player was not how international cricket actually worked. The beginning of the end for Deonarine came in 2009, when tensions between West Indies players and the cricket board reached breaking point. A group of senior players, including Chris Gale and Ramnaresh Sarwan, were in dispute with the board over various issues including contracts, treatment, and governance. Deonarine, still relatively junior in the team, had to choose sides. Like many young players, Deonarine believed that standing with his senior teammates was the right thing to do. These were players he respected and looked up to, legends of West Indies cricket who had shown him the way. When they asked for his support in their disputes with the board, he gave it without hesitation. This decision would haunt him for the rest of his career. The West Indies Cricket Board's response to player dissent was swift and brutal. Players who were seen as troublemakers or rebels were gradually phased out of the team, regardless of their talent or performance. The board wanted players who would follow orders without question, not those who would support senior players in disputes with management. Deonarine's last international appearance came in 2009. Just 3 years after his debut. At the age of 26, when most cricketers are entering their prime years, his international career was effectively over. There was no official announcement, no explanation, no farewell. He was simply never selected again, despite continuing to perform well in domestic cricket. The cruel irony of Deonarine's situation was that his form and fitness remained excellent. He continued to score runs and take wickets for Guyana, proving that his exclusion from the international team had nothing to do with his cricket ability. He was a victim of cricket politics, punished for showing loyalty to his teammates rather than to the cricket board. For several years after 2009, Deonarine held on to hope that his international career could be revived. He maintained his fitness, continued working on his game, and performed consistently in domestic cricket. Every time there was a change in West Indies management or selectors, he hoped for a recall that never came. The cricket board's memory was long, and forgiveness was not forthcoming. The psychological impact of this career ending was devastating for Deonarine. Imagine working your entire life toward a goal, achieving it, and then having it taken away. Not because you weren't good enough, but because you made a political choice that others disagreed with. The bitterness and frustration of this situation affected every aspect of his life. Cricket had been Deonarine's entire identity since childhood. When his international career ended abruptly, he struggled to find meaning and purpose. Domestic cricket provided some income and satisfaction, but it couldn't replace the dream of representing the West Indies that had driven him since he was a boy. Many players never recover from this kind of career trauma. The financial impact was also severe. International cricket in the 2000s provided much better earning opportunities than domestic cricket, especially for players from smaller cricket nations like Guyana. Losing his international career meant losing the chance to earn the kind of money that could secure his family's future and give back to his community. Deonarine tried various approaches to rebuild his career and find new opportunities. He played in overseas domestic competitions, worked with different coaches, and even considered moving to other countries where he might get more recognition. But the stigma of being dropped by the West Indies for political reasons followed him. Everywhere, the treatment of Deonarine became a symbol of everything wrong with West Indies cricket administration during this period. A talented young player who had done nothing wrong except support his senior teammates, had his career destroyed by petty politics and power struggles. Cricket fans and media criticized the board's handling of the situation, but nothing changed. Other young West Indies players watched what happened to Deonarine and learned harsh lessons about the realities of international cricket. Talent wasn't enough. Performance wasn't enough. You also needed to navigate complex political situations and avoid making enemies in the wrong places. This realization changed how an entire generation of Caribbean cricketers approached their careers. The broader impact on West Indies cricket was also significant. By excluding talented players like Deonarine for political reasons, the team weakened itself unnecessarily. During a period when the West Indies were already struggling to compete internationally, they couldn't afford to lose good players to internal disputes. The cricket suffered as a result. Deonarine's story highlights the powerlessness of individual players when caught in disputes between player groups and cricket boards. These battles are usually fought by senior players and administrators, but it's often the younger players who pay the biggest price. They have the least power, but face the most severe consequences. As years passed, it became clear that Deonarine's international career was finished. The cricket world moved on, new players emerged, and his name was gradually forgotten by all except those who remembered his early promise. For a player who had reached the pinnacle of Caribbean cricket, this fade into obscurity was perhaps the cruelest punishment of all. The waste of talent in Deonarine's case is particularly tragic because the West Indies desperately needed players of his ability during the 2010s. As the team continued to struggle internationally, observers often wondered what might have been if talented players like him hadn't been lost to political disputes. His career represents one of many missed opportunities for West Indies cricket. Looking at modern cricket, Deonarine's story serves as a warning about the dangers of cricket politics and the vulnerability of players caught in larger disputes. The game has evolved in many ways since 2009, but the fundamental power imbalances that destroyed his career still exist. Young players must still navigate complex political waters while trying to focus on their cricket. The personal cost to Deonarine and his family cannot be measured in statistics or money. Dreams that had sustained him since childhood were shattered, not by failure or lack of ability, but by politics and personalities. The boy from Unity Village, who had worked so hard to reach the top of Caribbean cricket, found himself cast aside and forgotten, a casualty of forces beyond his control. Hit subscribe to learn which cricket politics destroyed another promising career. Narsingh Deonarine's story is a reminder that cricket careers can end for reasons that have nothing to do with cricket ability. Sometimes the game's politics are more dangerous than any fast bowler, and the wrong decision at the wrong time can destroy 20 years of hard work in an instant. His journey from rising star to forgotten player remains one of cricket's most tragic tales of wasted potential. Hit subscribe to learn which cricket politics destroyed another promising career.